It's actually pretty interesting given that they have indeed range. They have ways to engage given that the circling eagle is right there mixed with the guiding wind. So at some point they would be able to engage and disengage whenever and wherever they want to. But there's just so much, crowd control coming in from this side. And King Salman finally making his debut, man, as the Valentina.
Back and new for the Phoenix Army, King Salman. You're right, Midnight. He's going in position 4. The mid laner of TNC right now is King Salman. See? So up against this lineup, it's going on full aggressive against ONIC Wade. It's clearly the power spikes that Rapidude has.
And at some point, you kind of want to go for those types of initiations, but so far it's TNC again, starting off strong, taking down that little Wanderer, moving forward to their side as they try to secure more objectives.
I just want to say there's so much sound effects going on, happening in the middle lane. Like the blooms from Nomthilda, the crystals coming out from the Eve, and also the harass from the Valentina. Ooh, Bentings.
Bentings is going to have a little bit of a problem here, although Sensui taking a brunt of the damage. Will SD be able to land that little counter? And that is going to be first blood for the Phoenix Army, and they are just going wild in the enemy territory.
Talking about delay and gank.
It's the same storyline in game number 1. SDZYZ, he just casually walked in. He was like strolling around. He saw a hero that is 1/4 HP. And lethal counter, there it is, another kill for SDZYZ. I mean, the first kill for SDZYZ.
Bro landed a beat drop, man.
Yeah, he just went there. Oh, is it my turn now? Okay, I'll just keep on doing it. But one thing that happened here, he tried to delay Sensui, but I think ONIC is still wanting to get with the trade of getting this first turtle. Missing that buff, specifically.
Yeah, hopefully they would be able to do just that, as now TNC's taking care of business right over here. Bentings trying to zone out everybody. Cram joins the party, and Sensui and the rest of the gang will be disengaging, as that is going to be another turtle secured by TNC.
ONIC Philippines respected the capability of how SDZYZ got that kill. A level advance, plus that's a 4-man rotation coming in from TNC.
Yeah, I've said this before, TNC, they're kind of lost as to how they want to play their meta, because they have been really, really aggressive when it comes to taking objectives without any potential trades. And right now, TNC, they've managed to find a solution in covering the losses when it comes to taking objectives. It's just to take one objective, focus on that, and make sure that you get it. And ONIC Philippines, they're feeling the change when it comes to TNC's movements. It's all about early aggression with 5 heroes brought upon by TNC.
Yup, and it's just another attack coming in, and Ryota catching that way of Dragon. It looks like Bentix is going to be caught out, and apparently not, as TNC make sure to get the business done. And honestly, I'm curious to see whether ONIC Philippines was able to get that purple buff, and it seems like it isn't just the case here.
It's on the hands of SD.
Because SD is just, raining on everybody's parade, and ONIC Philippines is just, forced to go to the other side of the map just to be able to get jungle creep.
Well, speaking of forced to go, the delay that Bentings did on the early contest of the purple gave so much way for TNC to be the kryptonite of ONIC Philippines. One thing to look after here is how they rotate clearly. They're using the movement or the rotation of Rapidude on giving aid to Sensui most of the time.
Yeah.
Look at where SDZYZ is. Again,
See?
he is farming the jungle camps of ONIC Philippines. There is really nothing that ONIC can do about this. They don't have the necessary counters against the Balmon. They don't have any ways to deal with the pressure of the Cho and Valentina. All they have is the damage to poke out the heroes of TNC. But in terms of securing objectives, it's quite hopeless to contest against Obama, because he has lethal counter.
One thing that I hate in one of my ranked games is going up against a Balmon jungle. Man, the security of the ultimate plus the retribution is too much. We have 2 things in mind to worry about.
Yeah, and it's not only the Balmon lethal counter retribution combo that we have to commend here for the side of TNC. It's the rest of the members giving space to SDZYZ, as now the Circling Eagle is going to be right over there. But Cram turning things around. However, Nets landing on the Nibiru's Passion, making sure that one goes down for the side of the Phoenix. And now ONIC Philippines finally getting a kill of their own. But for the trades that are happening, it's still the side of TNC moving forward.
Yeah, you get a kill on bottom lane, but Yasuo is left on the top lane. Was able to farm 2 waves with bonus XP to be able to catch up to the XP of the Beatrix. And gold, although the Beatrix is leading by 400, the sheer fact that the carry already has Windtalker is already a
man.
big problem for ONIC Philippines.
Yeah.
Right now, we're also seeing how Yasuo is maintaining this emblem on the Electro Flash. And one thing to utilize it, you don't want to carry freely farming onto the gold lane. A scaling deadly hero to penetrate ONIC Philippines, well, what, defenses? There's one thing that I could consider for a defense. It could be Rapidu, but will the defense be enough on approaching that mid-game spike?
Yep. And in the same way, it's also going to be another turret taken down by the side of TNC as
like the
Rapido is
switch.
somewhat diving right over. 4 heroes for the side of ONIC Philippines are wanting to go and move forward to try and take down that bottom lane turret, but they just won't be able to do so because it's TNC taking over again.
This is fantastic movements coming out from TNC. They saw that ONIC Philippines, they were not inclined on switching the lanes between the Paquito and the Beatrix.
Yep.
That's why they put Cram on the bottom lane and allowed for support to come there. King Salman and SDZYZ was near the Esmeralda during the time that ONIC tried to take the tower on the bottom lane. But on the top lane, however, Bentings was protecting the carry. He was able to get so much out of the top lane to the point where TNC, they don't have to worry about being traded because there's nothing that ONIC can do.
Yeah, it's the space giving in or given by Bentings. Well, if we're looking at a checklist right now for a carry, top lane down, time to switch down bot. They're targeting down Nets this time to delay his progress.
Yep, and in the same way, they're slowly getting more access to those objectives that has been continuously or consistently being taken here by SDZYZ, which is why ONIC Philippines, they're being forced to group in this middle position to be able to take the damage, to be able to force those team fights. Unfortunately for them, Bentings and the others are on the rise.
King Salman already has the Clock of Destiny. Time starts ticking. More mana, more HP for this Valentina, meaning more sustainability and higher damage output for TNC. The poke damage is already there from the carry and the Valentina, also the sustain from the Esmeralda and the frontline zoning potential of Cho. This just allows SDZYZ a fantastic game. Bottom lane, however,
Yep. The problem here.
Bentings. Nobody has spotted down Bentings. It's always about the formation of TNC. There's a concealed player. Yara is all alone down bot.
Yep, but Yara is going to be able to live for another day. Nibiru's passion has already been committed here by the rest of the members of ONIC Philippines, and they will be able to save one another. TNC forcing out at least 2 ultimates coming from the side of ONIC Philippines. Meanwhile, Yasuo the only one to prop it off.
yeah, Yasuo already is now leading over the Beatrix. This is because of the fact that ONIC Philippines has been, for the most part, grouping up to be able to ready themselves for a fight against TNC. Meanwhile, TNC, they don't even care about fighting at this moment. They are just pulling the attention of ONIC Philippines.
Yep.
This Valentina from King Salman is a huge gravity that is pulling away the attention of ONIC Philippines towards the Valentina in a way that allows Yasuo a free reign on whatever lane he chooses to be able to farm up his items.
Well, speaking of King Salman, he's 2 levels ahead. Being a Valentina, you don't want to get the hits connected to yourself because the higher the XP, powered by her passive, is just too deadly right now.
Yep,
For
and that
TNC,
is, man, going to be another way of dragon,
action.
man. Lethal counter is going to be committed up to that point, and that is no longer going to be needed for that retribution take because that's no ordinary hero down. It's Sensui down for the count as TNC takes another major objective heading into a short break.
Back of the game right now, and here we have it. Will ONIC Philippines finally answer the questions we're responding upon?
Oh, they got the Lord.
It is the Lord that is actually closing in from the bot side. So at some point now, TNC is actually a little more confident. But there you go. It's the Berserker's Fury. But here, Yasuo, man.
It's the new build for the carry. Instead of the Golden Staff, you go for Windtower, Scarlet Phantom, and then the Berserker's Fury. You don't get much procs from the passive, but it's effective against lineups that don't necessarily build HP items.
Yeah.
Like if we look at their lineup of ONIC Philippines, they don't have much HP aside from the Karina. So this crit build works wonderfully because you don't have to...
Right over, and we are back in action because right now it is indeed going to be another TNC breakthrough, managing to take over on the mid side. So it's just Inhibitor left for the side of ONIC Philippines. We are back, boys.
It's time. But whose time is going to be? ONIC or TNC? What we're looking at right now with a 7k gold lead, and Bentling still going with a vision.
This is such a huge lead for TNT again. They have the carry on their hands, which is really crucial against the lineup of ONIC Philippines, and they also have SDZYZ a poke damage coming down from TNC can be abused to the full potential with a lethal counter that can come out from the Balmond.
Yeah.
Look at Nets though.
Nets being in the bush right now against King Salman. Does he know by any chance? But we're looking at the fact that
I don't
Cram
think
right
he
now,
do this. I don't
Cram
think he do
right
this.
now has spotted or heard something. Nets going on low.
Yup, Nets is gonna be taking a brunt of the damage, and the falling Storm Moon is just overkill for the guy. Lethal counter is gonna be enough, man. But I have to say, from that Nets King Salman interaction,
Yeah.
you can't beat King Salman in terms of patience, bro.
It's
You
hard.
just can't.
They needed a safety net for that. He was going too deep, right in the death bush.
Yep. And the main problem with that play is that you cannot outrun these heroes from the side of TNC. They will always have better mobility over the Beatrix. SDZYZ caught up real fast, and King Salman was able to stop the Beatrix on his tracks, and TNC just managed to catch Nets off guard. Well, not off guard. He was literally asking for it.
Yeah, TNC has the safety nets right now on how to subtract the damage output of ONIC Philippines. 9K gold lead, approaching 9K.
Yeah,
This check push of Rabbit that he can do could mean so much for TNC, for the gangs as well, and just looking over the control right now on Cram is doing down bottom.
yeah, and they're just zoning things out. Every single lane, every single major objective, they've taken it away from Sensui. And at this point, even with the Demon Slayer, without, jungle creeps to be able to at least dish out the damage, what are you going to be able to do as a jungler? So now it is the side of TNC taking over once again, securing this major objective, and hopefully it will be enough to finish the game.
I can't believe SDZYZ missed the retro. King Salman took the Lord.
Rare sightings, man.
Rare sightings of SDZYZ failing to hit the retribution.
Maybe just, okay, King, since it's your debut, go take the Lord for yourself.
Yeah.
Ah.
Actually.
Take it.
Interesting, because it does reflect on stats.
Yeah. Oh, see, it's TNC. What?
It's SDZYZ being a good friend.
Yeah,
to
and a
King
good
Salman.
teammate too.
And a good team.
TNC and SSUSD being the big bro. Now, there's a push coming in from TNC. How will ONIC defend this? Right now, it's still Benthix giving in the vision. One push is going to happen from the Phoenix Army.
Yup, and there goes the rocket launchers coming in, man. Rapiduto taking it all in, 50% down to at least 30. Coming in for Dragon members, but there comes the way of Dragon, and the Paquito goes down. Cram enters the battlefield, and the front line is just simply falling out for the side of ONIC Philippines. What will they be able to do with Super Fins, Sensui, and Nets? It's the SSN combo. What can they be able to pull things off against 5 members coming from TNC? And they just want to go ahead and lock it in. Will this be the first series win for the Phoenix Army? And they just want to do just that. The Matrix is down. Sensui's holding on, but not for long, because Superfist is just going to be right over there. And ladies and gentlemen, it's the Phoenix rising as TNC takes the series.
Finally, the bounce back and rise up on TNC. Phoenix Army finally flew up in the skies. This 2-0 win meant so much for them right now.